Greetings, this is Donald Blomdahl, and welcome to our new episode called Historic Mail. And this is the introduction episode for this series, and we'll see how this goes. Hopefully you'll enjoy it, and let me know in your comments to the video as you watch it. Okay? So the first one, as you can see up here, it is from the desk of Wilbur Wright. And it is the Wright Cycle Company, 1127 West 3rd Street, Dayton, Ohio, May 30th, 1899. Excuse me. And the letter reads as follows. The Smithsonian Institution, Washington. Dear Sirs, I have been interested in the problem of mechanical and human flight ever since I was a boy. I constructed a number of bats of various sizes after the style of Cayley's 1 and Penald's 2 machines. My observations since have only convinced me more firmly that human flight is possible and practicable. It is only a question of knowledge and skill, just as in the acrobatic feats. Birds are the most perfectly trained gymnasts in the world and are specially well fitted for their work. And it may be that man will never equal them, but no one has watched a bird chasing an insect, or another bird can doubt that feats are performed which require 3 or 4 times the effort required in ordinary flight. I believe that simple flight at least is possible to man, and that the experiments and investigations of a large number of independent workers will result in the accumulation of information and knowledge and skill, which will finally lead to accomplished flight. The works on the subject to which I have and access, you got to turn the letter over here, as we continue, are Murray's 3 and Jameson's books published by Appleton's and various magazines and cyclopedic articles. I am about to begin a systematic study of the subject in preparation for practical work to which I expect to devote what time I can spare from my regular business. I wish to obtain such papers as the Smithsonian Institution has published on this subject, and if possible a list of other works in print in the English language. I am an enthusiast, but not a crank in the sense that I have some pet theories as to the proper construction of a flying machine. I wish to avail myself of all that is already known, and then, if possible, add my mite to help on the future workers who will attain final success. I do not know the terms on which you send out your publications, but if you will inform me of that cost, I will remit the price. Yours truly, Wilbur Wright. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and just want to give you some other information that's pertinent to this reading of this letter. The historical content and other relevant events. The Wright brothers, Orville the younger and Wilbur the elder, were captivated by flying from a young age. Their favorite toy was a small helicopter-like object, and they were impressed by its mechanics. As young men, they started a bicycle repair shop, and after some time began selling custom-made bicycles. During this time, they gained the necessary mechanical skills which were essential to their success. The brothers hoped to one day assemble a flying machine sufficiently large to hold both of them. The breakthrough occurred in 1903 when they made their first controlled sustained flight with the Wright Flyer near Kitty Hawk in North Carolina. This letter from 1899, only 4 years before their landmark breakthrough, is the first documented proof that Wilbur Wright had become interested in the possibility of human flight. Wilbur wrote to the Smithsonian Institution to obtain papers and a list of other publications on aeronautics research. At the time of this letter, Wilbur Wright was 32 years old, his brother 28. In July of that same year, just shortly after his letter, and perhaps receiving the requested information back, Wilbur put wing warping to the test for the first time, testing how much more lift could be gathered when the wings were warped or twisted on a biplane kite with a wingspan of 5 feet or 1.5 meters. Sir George Cayley was an English engineer, inventor, and aviator who in 1799 often credited as having conceived the concept of the modern aeroplane as a flying machine with fixed wings and separate systems for lift, propulsion, and control. Alphonse Pénaud was a 19th century French pioneer of aviation design and engineering who built the Planophore, a craft which would prove to have a major influence on aircraft design. He crafted a series of successful model helicopters and also produced a rubber-driven orthopter, which differs from a helicopter it is an aircraft that flies with the flapping of its wings. Unable to secure financial backing for his designs, Pénaud tragically committed suicide in 1880 at the age of 30. A helicopter using his design was given to Orville and Wilbur Wright by their father in 1878. Milton Wright. The Wright brothers would later credit this helicopter as an early inspiration source for their interest in flight. And then Etienne Jules Méry was a French scientist, psychologist, and chronophotographer. He is known for studying the flight of birds and insects and had the revolutionary ideals of recording several stages of movement onto one photographic surface. So hopefully you enjoy these readings of historic letters as we continue on in this series. So we will see you next Monday with episode number 1 of Historic Mail, brought to you by the retired postman, Donald Blomdahl. Take care, Lord bless you, and we'll see you in the next episode of Historic Mail. Bye for now.